Jerry Coleman alongside Kevin Cowherd here on BaltimoreSun.com and, of course, SportsWithColeman.com, brought to you by Dover Downs Hotel and Casino. And, Kevin, the Final Four is set. Maybe the most unlikely Final Four we have seen perhaps ever. And let's focus on VCU, a CAA team that has now won 5 games to get to the Final Four, unprecedented. And if they win the big dance, will it be the greatest upset in sports history right after that miracle on ice in 1980? Where does it stand for you?
Not at all. I don't think it will be, Jerry. I tell you, right now, to me, college basketball is all about parity. You're seeing this everywhere across the board. Now, last year you had Ohio beating Georgetown. You had ODU beating Notre Dame. And I think in today's game, you're going to see that a lot. You know, you're going to see what happens in these conferences, Jerry, is the power conferences lose a kid after a year or so, a good player to the NBA. The mid-majors don't. So I think you're going to see more of these kinds of VCU upsets, if you will. But to me, it's a mild upset. I just don't see it as that big an upset. I think there's a lot of parity today in college basketball. Bill Self, the Kansas coach, said the same thing. He said, you know, we can take their guys and our guys and run a shirts and skins game. They could play with us anytime. So I just don't see it as that big of an upset.
A team that would go from a play-in game to winning a national championship would not be considered the greatest upset, at least in college basketball history, and right after the miracle on ice, even surpassing Joe Namath in '69.
If they win it all, you might have a case for it. You might. But no, as it stands now, not at all. There's just too much parity in college basketball. It's just, I mean, I can't put it up there with the miracle on ice. To me is still the biggest. I would put number 2 as the Jets knocking off the Colts in the Super Bowl. But I just don't see this as on that level at all.
Well, I have it bigger than Mike Tyson losing to Buster Douglas, if perhaps it happens next Monday night, and that's a big if. But let's point out that VCU has had a tougher trip than George Mason, their CAA counterpart, a few years back. Mason got to play down the road in D.C. Mason didn't have to win 5 games to get there.
Right.
They didn't have to participate in a play-in game either. That's what makes this story so extraordinary.
Well, I love it. I mean, I like to see these teams come out of nowhere and go up against the big boys and win. I think VCU has a neat coach. I love this Shaka Smart. I love the way he runs a game. The guy is so much energy. And the thing about VCU is they're so happy to be here, and that's what you love this time of year, Jerry. You see these teams, the teams that come out of nowhere, they're the ones who are eternally grateful to be in this position. VCU's having a ball. Their students are having a ball. It's a great story for college basketball.
We'll see if the upset can continue here for a team that has been an underdog in every game, and that trend will continue into Houston this weekend.